Channel news. Oh yeah, the bell's tolling right now, so I'll give it a minute. It'll give me some time to look through my notes. It's getting dark quick, so I gotta do this quick. It's already Saturday too. Yeah, camera's rolling. Yeah. Okay, not many notes. Not much news. Okay, I'll probably have that bell chiming in the background for a while if it's the time that I think it is. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, we got some snow, so it feels like winter now. It is pretty cold. It's going to get really cold this week, but it's not going to stop the Flintknapping. I've got a space heater in the shop that works really good. Okay. All right. Some of these notes I already went over last week. Yeah, the hackles and the Wallner lines. The hackles are the cracks that look like cracks in the flake scar, and the Wallner lines are the ripples or what makes it look like a Hertzian type thing, or a cone shape, or no, uh, conchoidal fracture has these waves in it. Those are the Wallner lines, the waves, or the thing that makes it look like a conchoidal fracture. I went over that already. Oh, by the way, my name is Patrick. The channel name is Jack Crafty. I need to say that at the beginning of the video. Okay. I was going to change my email address for the channel, but I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I'm starting to get lots of spam, and I don't know if it's because I signed up for a new service. Actually, well, I did sign up for some new services, so I think they might have sold my information. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm getting more into the chat type of format in my videos. But I am going to be doing some instructional videos for new people, and maybe some instructional videos on advanced techniques once I can become more advanced. I consider myself not very advanced. In some areas, maybe I can do some advanced stuff. In the thinning area, maybe. But as far as sequential flaking, it requires a lot of practice. Yeah. Or just doing the same point over and over and over again. And comparatively speaking, not that much practice because it's only one point style. Like if I was doing only first views my whole life and that sort of thing, there's not as much practice to get good at doing those as it is to get good at doing Edens and first views and Clovis and let's say some other types that have sequential flaking like Eagle Lake points in Texas as an example. Some of the Angosturas and agate basins have fancy flaking. You know, there's other forms, and if you practice all of the fancy flakings, it's a lot more practice than just practicing the fancy flaking on one point style. That's what I'm trying to say. So back in the day, they didn't need all that much practice because they just did one point style pretty much. Now they had variations in sizes and sometimes variations in the stems, but for the most part, the blades were made the same way. Okay. Let's see. Coming up is going to be, like I said last time, a lot more glass. People are showing a lot of interest in glass snapping, which is good. Easy to get material that way. Yeah. It is the time I thought it was. they've got the chimes going in the church down the street. It's only like, I don't know, less than a quarter mile down the street, 1/8 of a mile or 1/10 of a mile down the street. It's just like 4 houses down. Anyway, I got to do this before it gets dark. It's already starting to get dark. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a lot more chatting. And if you don't like the format, you can go back to my older videos. I've got over 2,000 videos, so you can go look at the older ones that are older than, let's say, 3 years old. Okay, I've got videos that go back 11 years. Okay, I don't chat as much. I don't chat as much about useless things in the previous videos, previous to 3 years ago, right? Maybe 5 years ago. You may have to go back quite a bit. Anyways, I'll be doing more chatting and more irrelevant type of talking during my videos, because it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm getting too repetitive in my instructions and getting too set in my ways too. I got to explore other ways. So, uh, other ways of Flintknapping. So I don't want to be constantly trying to analyze the same old, same old. I need to branch out into other areas. So it shouldn't be difficult, but it is. If I stay focused in one area, it's too difficult for me to make the mental transition to other types of napping. But if I don't pay attention to it while I'm napping during the videos, it makes it easier for me to explore other avenues. Okay? That's one of the excuses. The other excuse is I like to be entertained myself. I entertain myself with the chit chat in my videos. I do get some techniques that tell me, no, I shouldn't do that. I mean, techniques. I do get some comments that I shouldn't be doing that I should be just focusing on instructional videos and explaining my techniques. But I'm not going to do that. Unless it's specifically for beginners or specifically in the title that it's an instructional video. Okay, if it doesn't say instructional video in the title, get ready for some yip yap. Um, the soup this week is a little bit spicy. Chicken soup with some of this Old Bay seasoning. It has a little bit of spiciness, like hot spicy, which is pretty good sometimes in the wintertime. Yeah. I'll be exploring more of the soup thing. Yeah, it's good. I'm buying a lot of chert for the upcoming winter nappings. I'm from Jeff Head. I'm buying a bunch of butterscotch, so you'll be seeing a lot of this in the upcoming videos. This is Georgia Chert Flint River raw butterscotch. He calls it, and we all call it butterscotch. It's nice stuff in the raw state. You can heat it also, but don't heat it too hot. Don't go over 400 degrees with that is my recommendation. 375 at the most, I think. Some of this stuff I heat to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. All my heat temperatures are in Fahrenheit. So don't heat this hotter than 375 degrees Fahrenheit, in my opinion. It doesn't need it. It does nap better when heated, but it can start to become way too brittle at the higher temperatures near 400 and above. It gets way too brittle, and sometimes it even breaks up and becomes useless in the turkey roaster or the kiln or whatever you're using to heat it. It can break up and become useless in that heat before you even take it out and start napping. Okay, so got to be careful if you want to buy some. I recommend buying rock from Jeff Head for sure. And I have other rock sellers that I recommend. I'll put those in the comment section. And I usually put the nap-ins, my nap-in list in the comment section. I put tools, where to buy tools from in the comment section. You can just ask me, where do I get my tools or what do I recommend for sources and stuff. I'll put them in the comment section. I do that because I can put a lot more information in the comment section than I can in the description box. Okay. I can put literally hundreds of more times of information that I can in the comment section than I can in the description box. Okay. Yeah, I already did all this. Discuss those things. I'm not going to get any fancy equipment. In case you don't know, in case you're new, I don't have fancy equipment for my napping. I just do a lot of stuff low tech. But I will start getting into the fancier stuff as time goes by. But that's not till next year. Yeah. With the fancier stuff like the rock cutting machines and things of that nature, rock grinding machines and rock grinding tools, they produce a lot of dust. And I don't want to get into that level of dust making without a proper air filtration system and proper air ventilation system and a proper ventilator with the correct filters. Did I say ventilator? Respirator, proper respirator with the correct filters. I don't want to get into that fancy stuff until I have that kind of equipment. So that'll be next year. But I will get into it eventually because it's part of Flintknapping, even though it's mostly modern stuff. Uh, um, which reminds me, people have been sending me, coincidentally, they've been sending me information on Egyptian uh, flake over grind items, where they would grind down the preform and then flake over the ground down surface. And I think it's because of Donnie Dust's videos and maybe some others that have been introducing these Egyptian flint knappings. But yeah, I'll make some of those eventually. The flake over grind that look Egyptian, and maybe even the typical flake over grind that we do here in America, modern stuff, and elsewhere. I haven't seen too many guys from Europe doing the flake over grind, but I could be wrong. They do a lot of axes that are ground down, those polished axes and stuff like that, but I don't see a lot of flaking over the grinding. Okay. Uh, Things are coming up on back order. I still got Clovis's to do. I've got like 6 different Clovis requests. I'll do those. I'll finish those off. Uh, it depends on how much time I have. Uh, I'm I'm having I'm having to spend a lot of time doing other stuff, family stuff. But sometimes I don't do any family stuff in a particular week, so I can get a lot done that week. So it just varies, but I will get all that stuff done. Um, I'll do a front view of my napping so you can see. I do have videos like that, but it's time to do a new one where you can see the front view of my napping. I can explain some things I didn't explain before. Uh, let's see. The Eden points are coming up. I've got the Eden casts and the Scots Bluffs casts. I need to do more foreshafting and hafting videos. I need to finish up my edge sharpening series of videos. Open fire heat treatment, where I heat treat rocks just next to an open fire. Uh, I might have some more Knife River Flint coming. Right now, I'm all out. I'm all out of Knife River Flint. I still have to do the how did I make these videos where I show you a point and you got to try to guess how I made it, and then I'll post a video and you'll see if you're correct or not. I still got to do those. And that ties back into exploring other methods, because I will be exploring other methods and see if you can spot if I'm using a different method for these points that I'm making for that particular challenge. I need to heat treat a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I just need to get that set up and running. I have an outlet back here that I can plug in my turkey roaster. It takes me only 30 minutes to set that up. I just haven't set it up, but I need to start heat treating. And I should have done it over the summer because it uses less electricity. It uses less electricity if I heat treat in summer. Oh well. I need to process some elk sinew on video. I showed how to remove tendons from the elk legs, and I still have those tendons that are now dry, and I'll show how to process those, or pound them into a soft state, and then you can shred the tendons apart. Points requested on video: Sabinal, AG, Folsom. Folsom is much later. I'm not going to do those right now. Eden, First View, St. Mary's Hall, Twisted Blades. Yeah. Those are all requests that I haven't gotten to in depth yet. Ulu knife, paleo stuff from various areas of the country. I was just looking up the far northwest areas where the Inuit live, right? In Alaska and in those areas. There's a point style that is older than Clovis in that area that looks like an unfluted Clovis. And I had the name in my mind like 30 seconds ago, but as soon as I started talking about it, that name just vanished. So I can't remember the name of that type of point. But I'll be doing some like news on those kinds of points that are very, very old and sometimes older than Clovis that people still are not aware of that exist. All right. People don't know how old some of these point styles are. They go back, some of them go back 13,000 years, where Clovis only goes back 10,000 years, something like that. Okay. I should be able to remember that name because I studied it all last night, but it disappeared. As soon as I started thinking about it, that name disappeared. Okay. I think that's ADHD, right? I don't know what it is. It's frustrating. All right. Sinew bowstrings. I got everything set up to do those, and I just can't get myself a spare minute to do those. But I'll do those. Sinew bowstrings. Bowl and bevel. I got a request to do bowl and bevel. I've done those before on video. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I try to limit my napping to 3 days a week, but it's getting to the point where I have to nap every day now. But that's okay for a certain time of the year, like right now, where I have to do a lot of different orders and a lot of different projects, and try to come up with more items for the auction than I normally do. But it's not that easy, especially when I get interrupted by family stuff. It's not really an interruption because I prioritize it. I prioritize my time. Family is always first, and then everything else, with back orders probably at the bottom. Yeah. First, it's the family stuff, and then the auctions, and then Sometimes I make items to replace broken stuff that gets like I had one shipment with that had a broken item. Uh, Luckily, that's not very common. And then sometimes there's a bidding war going on with an item, and I feel bad for the guys that didn't win, so I'll make a duplicate uh, because uh, I can do that, and I do have time to do that. So that's part of the auction kind of stuff. So I'll do that. It's not really an issue. It's not a problem. I can make some duplicates if there is a bidding war in the auction and it's very, very close and I can't figure out who actually won. I just have to make a decision or flip a coin and it looks like they're both on time or both really close. And I don't know. I mean, the YouTube puts the bids in the comments in the correct order, but when I'm looking at it, it looks like they bid at the same time. Uh, as I'm refreshing. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's very difficult for me to choose a winner. So the second or the runner up sometimes gets a duplicate. I'll make a duplicate for that guy too. Off camera, outside the auction, that sort of thing. I don't do that very often, only when there's a really close bidding war on a particular item. So don't get your hopes up. Okay, because it eats up my time. And then after the auction stuff is all the back orders. And sometimes I have to prioritize those as well. Uh, and some people have been waiting for years for their stuff to get made because I keep pushing other things in front. Like if I have a very limited supply of a certain type of rock, I tend to do those first. If I have plenty of rock of another type, I'll put those to the side because I know I can do those at any time. Maybe I need to rethink how I prioritize my back orders. And then after all that is the rock challenges. Okay. Now, sometimes I pull rock challenges out of the cobwebs in my storage unit and then I need to do this batch and I'll put it on video. So that is really chaotic. I don't know. Sometimes I'll pick out something that's 10 years old or 5 years old, not 10, 5 years old, or sometimes I'll pick out something that's 5 days old to do a rock challenge on it. Yeah, I need to rethink my prioritization probably as far as challenges go. Yeah. And if you have a rock challenge, if you sent me rock and you wanted to see me nap it and I still haven't gotten to it, just send me a reminder. It's not going to bug me. I need a reminder once in a while because I'll have this stack of stuff and then one day I'll move everything that look for something and I'll put items on top of your item and it'll be at the bottom where it shouldn't be. And I won't see it for months. So just let me know. If you've sent me something as a challenge that I haven't done it yet. Okay. It's not going to bug me. Don't worry. I need a reminder. Okay. I think that's it. I bought some of this glue. My hands are getting cold. E6000, right? For arrowheads. So, I mean, it's not for arrowheads, but I'm going to use it for arrowheads. And I'll mix some stuff with it, like pigments and stuff. It says it's crystal clear, right? So, and I'm pretty sure you can mix pigments and stuff with it to make it look like it's a pine pitch or some other type of resin. I'm going to explore that. Hopefully this doesn't shrink too much. You know how some glues you apply it and it shrinks and it either pulls away from the object or it leaves little holes or gaps. The beauty of hot melt is that it won't leave a gap when it cools. It does shrink slightly when it cools, but the shrinkage is insignificant when it comes to arrowhead size items and knives and stuff. Hopefully this stuff won't shrink that much. So this is the kind of thing that I experiment with during the week and get distracted and stuff. But I haven't gotten into that yet, but I will. Modern glues, modern substitutes for, natural stuff. I want to get into that as well. Stuff you can just go to the store and buy and make something that looks primitive. I'll be getting into that also more as time goes on. Okay? All right. I think that's it. All I can think of for this week's news. All right. I'll see you on the next video.